Hello there, folks. I think it should have started. There we go. Let's test. Alright, we have audio. We have video. We should be good to go. Possibly. How are you folks doing today? Let's select this stream. Clayton, how are you doing, kind sir? You see anything you recognize there on the table there, Clayton? Let's recognize who's here. Henry G was here. Henry G was here yesterday morning. Or no, this morning. After 12 o'clock. After 1 o'clock. Whenever it was that I set up the live. Marco checked in about 6:19 a.m. He's another early riser or late goer to bed. I'm not sure which. And then about 10:30 this morning, Angelo checked in. And then Clayton at 9:01 p.m. said, Tommy. Hopefully that didn't break up. I'm going to have to go back and listen and see if that, and we'll have to see if that was too hot for the mic. And then Marco come back in and said Clayton and Thomas, and he also said post your pockets on the HWG channel on the TKE Discord. Clayton says sounds good to me. And then, hey, BSF made the table. That's not the first time he's been on the table there, Clayton. And it didn't clip? Awesome. Well, I have to thank Ryan Crow for sending me a video on how to set the audio up in OBS in order to not do that. So, very good. And I don't have an expensive mic either. I don't even know what it is, but it's not very expensive. I got it off eBay used, and asked them if it came with a desk tripod, and they said, I think I got one laying around here somewhere that I'll throw in. And I was like, well, very cool. So I moved my my other one over to my work computer. So there we go. All right, I don't think we've got many people in here yet. It says we've got 4 over there. Let's see who that for. But over here, when I go to participants, it shows Clayton and Tommy. So that may be Clayton and Tommy, the only people right now. Delirium. Who's this? This Delirium guy. Delirium. How's Summer doing? I saw a picture a while ago. So everybody in, I was going to say everybody in here is from South Carolina, but I don't think Robert Freely is, and Marco's, I'm pretty sure is not. I think Marco's from down south of South Carolina. What is my Discord? Marco, can you drop it's scroll up right above when you came in. Robert says New York. I have been there quite a few times. Well, I've been there a few times. I won't say quite a bit. It's not like I go up there normally on a regular basis. But I have been. And I've been to the city, and I've been to other parts of New York as well. I think a lot of folks don't understand that New York's a really big state, and there's a lot of countryside to see there. And Clayton, there's that Discord link. If you need an invite, let me know, and I will go over and get an invite if you're not already a member there. Staff Sergeant Maximus, thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate that. And And it was another warm day here in South Carolina. It actually looks like it's 1 degree cooler outside than it is inside right now. And they're talking about some really pleasant weather coming up next week. Nice drops in overnight temperatures and all kinds of good stuff. All right, so you need an invite to Discord. What is that little number on the left? This one here, Milton. And if that is the case, I've got to figure out what it is, because oh, Marco's already got the invite. Very good, very good. Milton, if you're talking about this one, it is a D4507GW from DreamTech. It is a what they call a roundhouse lock. If you've experienced the locks from Aurora Knife and Tool, I believe it to be the same lock. But I thought that was a cool shape. And so yeah, 4507 GW. I think there is I know there's a blue one that I think might look a little bit better than the red, but the red doesn't look bad in my opinion. All right, let's see. All right, say hello to DeLorean. Bernie Stables 4 says, I get nothing with that link, but no channel exists. Okay, well, let me know what happens when you hit that invite there, Marco. Neil McKenzie, thank you for being here. Do appreciate it. There's TKE. Hello, Thomas, or hey, Thomas and friends. I said hello. And TKE says 18 months of paid friendship. How quaint. Back at you, mister. I think I've been a member for quite a while on yours as well. But I hope you're doing well, TKE. TKE says, Nick, Marco, other Neil. Marco says, TK, who? Oh, brother. All right, Milton. Was that the one you was talking about? The one you were asking about, rather? You weren't talking about it. You just asked about it. All right, so we have the almost to the West Coast represented here with Mom. And happy early birthday there, TKE. If you behave yourself, you'll probably be okay. Oh, very funny, mister. Very funny. I'm not that far behind. 3 hours, 20 minutes. Just behave yourself and you'll probably be good to go. Now, does it... No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, does it count as on Eastern time, or you got to go to that Central time to count it? So, depends, just depends. Robin, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. And TK, he's doing his normal, you hush, mister. I thought I was the one that said, you hush, mister. At some point in time, I have to go all the way back to work to get my license, because our kiosk system for the pharmacy at work, I work at a hospital, our kiosk system asks for your license, and I lay it on a tray, and I guess apparently walked off and left it, and it got turned in, and nobody bothered to try to see if I worked for the hospital and give me a call. So anyhow, so I get to do that in the next couple of days. TKE says, "Are those the giveaway knives?" No giveaway knives tonight. This is not giveaway night. However, we got to talk about that in a minute, so y'all remind me that there needs to be a discussion here when we get a few more people in. I am not a doctor. I'm the one that makes the doctors mad sometimes, but I'm not a doctor. Clayton said Discord worked. Thanks. And thanks to Marco for doing that. TK, do you know Clayton? Are you knowledgeable about Clayton and Burning Stables Forge there, TK? No, I work in compliance, so that means we have to make sure people are following the rules. You know how that is, TK? Okay, you know Clayton through the YouTubes. You need to get one of his knives there, TK. And one of his knives is actually on the table here. So, yep, you need to get one of his knives. Yep, that guy, TK. Thank you for dropping that link. But this is the Caius. Quit laughing, Delirium, excuse me. No, this is mine. You see the logo right there? It looks suspiciously like his emoji. Or at least part of his emoji. That's right, Marco. TKE, I have replaced that. I have put that mailbox back up on its stand several times since you aggravated me. In fact, somebody said something about that, and it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Somebody else made a comment about the mailbox, and it wasn't a couple of days later, and somebody hit it again and left me some parts. I tracked it down. It was somebody with a Nissan hit my mailbox again. So I had Nissan parts in the ditch there. Yes, sir. Somebody, unlike you, I don't go around hitting mailboxes or running over mailboxes. I don't drive a Nissan. That's the whole point, mister. But somebody does. And even had a friend of mine send me a picture of a vehicle going down the road and surmised that might be the one that hit the mailbox. Paul Mills, thank you for being here, man. Do appreciate it. No, that's not the case, TKE. Again, quit trying to project onto someone else. That's probably true, Marco. There's Paul Mills says, TKE, my predator bro. I don't think TKE is going to admit that on the internet, though. I know I wouldn't if I were he. Oh, you do have a Nissan, don't you? Have you been driving up here close to where I live? That could explain some stuff. Like the mailbox. But I'm not the only person that's had problems with people hitting their mailbox here on the road. Nissan will dent, probably so. Oh, I've got the mirror and some of the mirror internals. They hit it pretty good. I would expect. Somebody actually veered completely off the road, and from what I understand, hit my driveway and went airborne. But was that you, TKE? Was that you running over your own mailbox trying to turn into your driveway? Answer me that, sir. All right, so let's see. We've got 14 people in here. I'm going to actually put up I'm going to see if I can put up a poll. Let's see here. Kentucky Windage says, thinking about getting my first Spyderco. What model should I get? I would suggest either a Manix 2 or I'd say a Manix 2 or a Sage 6. But that's just my opinion because that's the two that I have. But that's a good question. Robin says, "How big are your hands?" Because there's a lot of models to think about. TKE says, "Can't go wrong with a PM2." It's not hooked up to the amp, and that was the mouse, which you don't hear anymore, sir. It is a mechanical keyboard, but I don't use that for gaming, and I rarely do that. All right. In fact, I have a controller there that I use if I'm doing that. I don't use the keyboard. Dwayne Letterman, thank you for being here. It does have RGB. And it is programmable. It's a Ergodox. If you know what that is, Robin. So does mine. So does my laptop. But that's not. Have we stopped talking about knobs again? We talk about various and sundry things. Roll. And I'm just gonna call you Roll because I don't know how you like to pronounce that. TK says, "How are we supposed to get Metal Complex in here again if you do Friday Lives, Mister?" Hey, that was one time. That is one time that he got in here, and that was for only a couple of minutes. Tommy typing sounds like downtown Kiev. Where do you get this stuff? You did. I was rather shocked, but he did manage to somehow stop by that evening. But that was the exception rather than the rule there. But Roll, we talk about anything that happens to come up, but we do talk knives as well. Let's see if I can see what the everybody's choosing. Some people are choosing Thursday and some people are choosing Friday, and I'm going to run it again. I'm going to do another live tomorrow night and ask the question there as well. I got a lot more views last Friday night. More views than I had since a giveaway night several months ago. I told him if he ever wants to make it big, he should do go to hell. No, absolutely not. I can't. I mean, he gets 1,500, 2,000 people. Well, no, Robin, it doesn't. The from the 6 to 8, there's really nobody doing a live for that entire time. And there seems to be more people that are more crowded here. Now, if you go later on, then of course you've got Metal Complex, you've got Gweg, you've got all kinds of stuff going on there. I think Javon, all of them are later on. So I'm going to try it again Friday night and see what happens. Although it looks like, well, it's got closer on the percentage of votes there. We'll see. And I saw some people there that I hadn't seen in a while on the Friday night one. So I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other. But I don't. If I'm not doing it on Friday nights, then I tried to get my wife to come in here, and I said, you're gonna have to stay dressed from work and come in here and say hello one night. She wasn't too keen on that. Mike could get the Puppa Dogs to come in here and make an appearance, maybe. That seems to go well on some other channels. TK, hush, mister. You know why I can't do that. But that was when I looked to see what an open area or an open slot was. That was one of the things was Sunday mornings, but I can't do that. Or Sundays around lunchtime, and we're not home yet from there. TK, have a good one, man. Have a good night, and hope to see you again. Delirium says everybody likes Puppa Dogs. Ground Fog's in the house. That's right. That's right, Delirium. I appreciate that, TK. You know I like to give you some grief as well, so that works out. All right, looks like we're 67% in favor of Thursday nights. Whoops. And why is it not showing that? Let's see. I can't. I don't want to end the poll yet. So, 43, 33. All right, so we'll keep that running. All right, what else was I going to talk about tonight? There was something else important that I was going to bring. Oh, I want to do this before I go any further. I want to send 5 gift memberships out to folks. That's right. That's right, Delirium. Robert Freely got a gift membership. Mad Yako got one. Steve L got one. Homer Feltus got one. And Beekeeper got one. Oh, I translated there. Paul Mills, a member for 10 months on the Everyday Crew. Thank you, Paul Mills. Do appreciate that. And I just glossed over the one that TKE sent me because he used his to give me some grief. But I appreciate him being a member as well. So thank you, Paul Mills, for being a member for 10 months. I don't have any crazy sound to play. So I meant to have this out there earlier too. Since I had my Burning Stables Forge knife in pocket today. So let's see, what do I have here? And I have... Okay. So I mentioned this one a few minutes ago. This is a DreamTech DT4507GW. They don't have names on their stuff, and that's super irritating. And then this is the D4542MR. Another DreamTech, but this is a button-actuated liner lock. As you can see right here, you can use either the button to unlock it, or you can use the regular liner to unlock it. Plus you've got the top flipper, you've got a back flipper, you've got the opening hole, you can use the button, all kinds of cool stuff. So there's that. And let's see here. We mentioned this one. This one is a they call it a roundhouse lock. And when you push the button in, you can see the liner there going toward where you're pushing it in. So I'm pushing with this finger, pushing in, and you can see that lock disengage. Now, if you want to see how that works more better, go check out my video of well, let's see. Have I actually released one of those? I may not have released one of those, but if there is a video out there of the Aurora Knife and Tool, any of their knives, then it uses that same lock. But I don't know that I have released any of those yet, so I may have to get one of those out. And then this one here, this actually may be this may be one of the, in my opinion, probably Knife of the Year contenders here. This is the Remet Orca. And if you haven't had a chance to check out an Orca, please do so. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that it was a cool knife, and Fred said, "Hey, send me that to check out." So I did, and Fred ended up buying it from me. He said, "This is good," and I said, "I told you it was good." But I actually have this one, and let's see. I have another one. That I ordered. So I ended up with 3 of them, and I have an idea here. Y'all let me know what you think. Considering it. I don't know as of yet that I'm going to do it. But this is the other one that I have. And again, it's pretty cool. But I'm thinking, or I had the thought, to take this blade off of this one and have this, put it on the copper foil, so it'd have a stonewash blade on that. Of course, that would mean that there was a black blade on this one, and I don't know that would work. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Any opinions on that? If that would work at all, or just leave it the way it is. Not sure yet. But this is a DLC coated blade, so it should hold up pretty well. And thus far, the clip and the knife itself has held up pretty well. So, I don't know. But we'll scoot that over to the side. Robin says I like it how it is. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm kind of torn. And I haven't even tried it yet, but still kind of torn. I only have one other DLC coated blade, so I'm not a huge fan of coated blades, but the other one that I have is this mithril. Yeah, I can swap it out pretty easy, right, Robin? The only other knife that I have that is DLC coated is this mithril, and it's a little bit different. It's a like a satin with a DLC coating, so it's a little more crazy, but and I've not used it a terrible amount, but it's not seems to be holding up well. But we may swap the blades tomorrow during the live and see how we like it. That may be a thing to do on a live and just swap them out and see. Make it a group event. All right, let's see. What else? Okay. Want to know why knives? Says, yo. And I noticed Want to Know Why has changed his name there just a little bit. Said DBT just ended. Okay, cool. We may get an influx of people. Dog one. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. There's Mick Ranger and William Hornbostel. And let me highlight you guys. There's Dog One. Oops, I'm not highlighting the correct one. There's Want to Know Why. There's Dog One. There's Mick Ranger. There's William Hornbostel. There's Blessed EDC says Tonto Lives Matter. There's Clint Crosby saying hello to everyone. Michael Miller saying hello to everybody. There's Blind Woo Fury saying hello to everybody as well. Oh, I'm not going to do it every night there, Dog One. Mick, I've been starting at 9:30 Eastern the last few weeks. I started three or 4 weeks ago now at 9:30 since there were some earlier lives that were going on. However, I did a live last. I guess I should have put that on as well. Can I modify that? Well, we'll do it. Let me end this and we'll do it again because I didn't do it correctly. And here we go. I'm going to I didn't put the times down, so that would be a different time. Oops. And Friday, let's say PM, because we don't want to confuse it. Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 Eastern. All right, we'll do it again. Let's do it this way. All right. William Hornbostel said that like button is the cover charge. Pay up. Blumenau says, my name is Inigo Montoya. Wait, this isn't the right set. Yeah, no worries. Michael Miller says, actually, you're my first live stream today. Just got home from work. Now chilling with my nice friends. Much blessings. Thank you, Michael Miller. Do appreciate it, sir. Bluminati says, Marco. William Hornbostel says it's 9:05 here. Yeah, it's 10:05 here. EDC Mick says, I say you just mix it up according to whatever works for you. We will be there regardless. Thank you, Mick. I appreciate that, man. Brown Sugar, thank you for being here, ma'am. It looks like Friday might be winning a little bit. There, J1, thank you for being here, man. Do appreciate it. Dog One says, Mix Queens is an absolutely demographic lesson. Mick, you're not from the city, are you? Or are you? Maybe. Well, I didn't tell you to do anything. Watch. J1 says, where's the both of them? No, can't do that. And Robin's carrying on with Blue's quote there. Thank you for being here, Blue. I said, I don't want to miss anybody. There's Kelly's Mishmash. Says, good evening, peeps. Whoops. Did the infamous jump on me here. Well, no, William, I start at 6 p.m. and by 8 p.m. I don't think B starts till right around 8 p.m., right? Okay. You grew up in Queens but moved to Arizona. Okay. I've been to the city a few times. I was telling somebody, Robert, I think it was earlier. Blue says can't's a 4-letter word, Tommy. Let's try can. Man, I tell you what, I need time one night to do videos because I usually don't. Wednesdays are out because I don't get home from church till late, and then on Tuesdays, on 1 or 2 nights a month, I have other things going on, so I need some time. Need some time to do the videos. William Hornbostel says, "Oh, I see," said the blind man to the deaf dude. Dog One says, "Whoops, where's an E among friends?" All right, let's see. Bees is usually 8:15. See, I'm good to go. He would start after I would be done. And if I'm just thinking. I'm trying to maximize it because Mick, well, you were a stagehand, worked in Manhattan for 15 years. You were still there when we were up there and went to some shows. So I may have been actually close to where you were. And I know there's quite a few theaters up there, but I actually we were at Spider-Man. Now that I don't remember what year this was. It may have been. I don't remember what year it was. But we were in the upper seats and heard a commotion down on the main level and Trump came in. Now this is way before any of the presidential stuff or anything like that. So we looked down and Trump was down there. So, but that was many years ago, and I can't tell you what theater it was or any of that stuff. So, or what year we were there. I'd have to look. Let's see. Blue says, Tommy. We don't think around here. We just do. William says, saw my first concert at Madison Square Garden, Black Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult. Edie Mick says, I worked in a TV studio on West 66th Street, but did theater work as well. Dog One says, Mick, my pa did that a while in Atlanta. Wait a minute, I missed something here. Mick says, I love being a stagehand, miss it so much. Did you break your neck while at work there? Mick? Mick says, my main gig was props on One Life to Live. Very cool. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to have to change my sitting position here, because apparently my back's decided it doesn't like sitting the way I was sitting. All right, so continuing on with knives, because there are people here that likes that like to hear about knives. This is the Blade City exclusive Blade City exclusive Fenrir, which is a different blade shape than the traditional Concept Fenrirs. And I keep wanting to go for a liner lock there. I guess it's because most of the Fenrirs that I've tried were liner locks. But that one's pretty cool, and it's pretty neat. The colored hardware on this to match the to matchy. I have another one of those coming, and it's a different color, and I don't know. I'll have to look. I don't know. It's orange instead of green, so you guys know I like orange. So Mick says the elevator malfunctioned as I was pulling scenery off and dropped, and I fell backwards. Oof! Youch, youch, youch. Henry G, thank you for being here, man. Oh, I agree. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I'm guessing, and I'm not positive on this, but they may have Cerakoted, excuse me, the hardware, because I don't think that's you can't get quite that color. I don't think. Could be wrong though. I know this is anodized here. The button, it's just a little. You can tell it's a little off there, or at least I can. But then the thumb studs are the right color. So that's pretty cool. Henry G says, I worked on the Javits Center building on Columbus Circle. So, Henry, you worked in the city as well? Is that what I'm understanding? And I'm not that familiar with the city to even know where that's at. William Hornbostel's been out in the country up there in Woodstock building a stage. Very cool. Now, Henry, do you live there now, or was that you live somewhere else now? Illuminati said yes, that is Cerakote. And it looks like we're at about 55% on the poll there. We'll run it again tomorrow night and see what the folks tomorrow night say. And I'll plan on, y'all help me remember, I'll give away some more memberships tomorrow as well. Henry G says, I'm on Long Island. Very cool. Dog One says, I worked at the Shrine Circus in Atlanta retrieving lost helium balloons. Now, I don't know that would be a very fun job there, Dog One. Unless you could do it with a BB gun. Then that might be fun. But I'm assuming they don't want BBs being shot up into the air in a building. Just guessing. Or darts. That would be even better. And I don't know, let's see. With a bigger balloon, 80-foot roof. I was 11, a long string, tangled pull. All right, so it wasn't that exciting then. You didn't get to shoot a BB gun at balloons way up in the air. James Hoyt, appreciate you being here. Do appreciate it. So you guys, now that you're used to the new logo, is it still, isn't it an acceptable logo, or do you like the old ones better? Dog wants to get up against the lost one and twirl, get it wrapped up and pull it down. Not a bad job to have, I guess, if you're 11 there. Dog One, I think you are out in Texas now, if I'm not mistaken. And I go to Atlanta once a year for Blade Show. Usually, that's it. Used to go more often, but not so much anymore. That traffic. Of course, the traffic around here. So I live in Greenville, or I live south of Greenville. Greenville is about halfway between Atlanta and Charlotte, which are, Atlanta's really big, Charlotte's trying to get big, and apparently they're trying to see if they can make the whole entire area between Atlanta and Charlotte one big metropolitan area or something. James, congratulations on your DBD win. Very cool, James. What'd you win, man? And that is a mithril. This is actually a I won this off of Metal Complex. He was giving it was a bonus knife that he gave away when he was getting someone up to a milestone. I don't remember exactly what it was. And somehow I got drawn for the bonus. Not quite as cool as winning, getting to choose 2 pouches and potentially get a somebody's sending messages there, Delirium. But this is a cool knife nonetheless. It's a pretty decent little knife. So I'm not complaining. And plus, my idea was to try out DLC and see if I liked it. And I don't dislike it, so. James Hoyt says, I was the blind dog that found the bone. Thank you, Blessed EDC. And if I haven't said hello and thanks for being here, thank you for being here. Fred the Lug said, hello all. Fred, are you flicking your orca tonight? Dog One says, James, pretty sweet givey. Dogs know. Very cool, James, and congratulations again. All right, let's see what else. We talked about this one. Well, let's make some more room over here, and we'll try to add some stuff here, because I have a few more items and boxes over here. Let's leave this stuff off to the right. That's the mithril. And that, of course, is the chias. Alright, let's see. Which is next? What's next? Now, I got this one. And because I thought from looking at it that it was a pretty cool knife. But it turns out though it looks pretty cool, I'm not as big of a fan as I thought I would be. The thumb stud works just fine. This is a Remet Rhino, and this one is the top, or no, it's a button liner lock. You've got the button that you can disengage the lock with, but you can also disengage the liner lock there. It does have the ability to reverse flick, but the detent is pretty stiff. So there's that one. Did we get over 40 people in the live last Friday? Dog one, is that the question? And I want to say yes there, dog one. Let's take a gander at it. Well, it's not liking. I've got too much stuff here. Too much, I say. Let's see here. So, last for lives, the Friday one had 294 views, and the Thursday one had 196 views. So I had almost 100 more views on Friday night than I had on Saturday night. So there's more people in here, and it says, let's see. I don't want to play that. I just wanted to look at the information. Let's see. Yeah. It looks like well, I'd have to look at the analytics, but it looks like there was 31 peak and 32 average, so we'll see. Fred says, I got a new knife in the mail today when I got home, so playing with that one now. ATK Catalyst, very cool. Fred Deluxe says that Rhino is also just $50. Exactly. It's not a very expensive knife at all. Roger Baker, thanks for being here, man. Do appreciate it. Dog One says it was a good show. I thought so too. It was a very lively show. Fred says, looks like you have a style of lock you really like. Yeah, yeah. I do like the top liner locks. So let's see. Well, all the ones on here are button actuated locks. This one is. This one does. This is actually a button operated frame lock, which, by the way, is cool. In case I didn't tell you guys, I think I mentioned that though, that I thought maybe this one was a contender for the production knife of the year. But I tell you what, it's Lots of opening methods that work great. You've got the frame lock that you can disengage with your finger, and access to that frame lock is better than a lot of frame locks. And that's just a secondary method of disengaging it. That button there disengages it as well. Might be able to see that a little bit better on that one. So you can see disengage it there or disengage it with that button. So no problem, Fred. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And I have your box here with your name on it. So when I send you some more stuff, that'll be I plan on sending that with it. James Hoyt says, I want a Tack Knives Viper plus swag pack. Very cool. I did. Do I have that one, or did I have it? I think I have that one. Or did I? No. That may have been one that I actually returned to TK or TC. Is this one? That's the one I sent Fred. All right. William Hornbostel says, I too got a new knife, a Titanium Arcade from TKE. Very cool there, William. That's a neat looking knife. I was hoping I'd win that one, but that's okay. I'm glad you won it, William. Josh, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. What is the knife to the right of the Orcas? That is a Blade City Fenrir, Fred. I have another one of those coming in orange. And it's pretty cool. I do like it better than the regular Fenrir. I will say that. And it's starting to break in quite nicely. All right, dropping stuff. All right, let's see what this one is. I can't remember. Oh, so I like this one, and I ordered it. This one is what they call this. So again, DreamTech likes to do numbers. So this is the D4281VG, which is, again, it's a top. It is a roundhouse lock, and as you push the button in, it allows that lock to move out of the way. Actually, a pretty cool thing. So this one's actually pretty cool looking. It's smaller than I thought it was going to be. As far as thin, it's not a bad knife. William Hornbostel said, you want to trade? Oh, I don't know about that, William. Something about the knives you win is kind of special. Which BSF? That is the Caius there, James. And I got to pick out colors, so I picked out orange and black, and then I tied myself a lanyard there. So, very cool. This is a very cool knife, in case you haven't checked BSF out. Burning Stables Forge, otherwise known as Clayton. Fred says, gonna go to Blade City while in Miami. I always like to hang out with those guys when I'm down there. Very cool. They have yeah. Pivot button actuated reverse liner lock. Roundhouse, same OEM as Aurora. Yep. In fact, I told them to go check out my Aurora disassembly video earlier, and then got to thinking maybe I haven't put one of those Aurora knife and tool videos up yet, so I need to do that. Bob Tism, thank you for being here, man. Whoop. On the, whoops, keeps jumping on me. On the edge, EDC. Hello, everybody. Fred says, is that a BSF knife? Yes, sir, it is. Absolutely is. I did too, Josh, J1. Wasn't that cool? I was like, man, I messaged him later. I said, that was very cool. I did not realize all of that went into making that handle. So if you don't, well, yes, absolutely, Fred. And I'm not that into them, but Fred, look at this thing. Look how cool it is. It's about the perfect size for EDC. So I had to get one. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to carry it. I've tried different ways, and right now I have a pocket clip on there. But yes, absolutely. You should check him out, Fred. James says, I have a Lemmy. I want a Motley. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. James, you know what I did? I forgot to do the translate thing. Have they killed that? Did everybody scream enough that got turned off? William says, I want a custom knife from an unprofessional dad, but a good friend had helped me a lot to get this new Harley, so when he said he liked it, I gave it to him. Very cool. Blue said, selling a One Moon seedling and Aries thistle to help with the bill for Xena, but hit me up on IG if interested. Y'all do that if you're interested. OT on the edge says, hey guys, need to raise some additional money to pay for a new printer. If you need some decal stickers, contact me. And drops his link there. Thanks, I sure appreciate your business. Y'all, if you need stickers, check out On the Edge. He made these for me, and they look really good. And I actually got them printed with additional information on the back, so that I can hand some of them out at Blade Show, and then he printed some regular ones as well. So y'all check him out. Send some business his way if you have that opportunity. Fred says, although just upgraded kitchen stuff, got 3 SG2 ZDP 189 and Rex 121 knives. The only ZDP, is that a ZDP? Maybe. I'm not even going to say because I'm not sure. Very cool, Fred, and that's pretty cool that you check the steel out when getting kitchen stuff, because a lot of people don't have a clue. Fred says, I told Clayton to make me a billet of Damascus, and I would have someone in our community make a folding. That's very cool, Fred. I've heard him talking about making Damascus, but I haven't. I need to watch one of his videos. Dog One says, help Fenrir. Yes, this Fenrir here, is that one you're talking about, Dog One? This is the, y'all tell I used it a while ago. This is the Blade City exclusive Fenrir. I'm with you on that one, J1. I think I would have just called it something else. Although the handle is exactly the same shape, they just did a different blade shape. But still, I think I would have made it a total new name. But I love the blade shape, and I never did quite like the Fenrir blade shape. I've had several of them on the channel, and it just wasn't my thing. MK Ultra, thank you for being here. Miranda, I try to click on something and somebody sends something and it goes thoop. Blessed EDC says, one day I hope to afford a Burning Stables Forge Motley. On the Edge says, I'm just waiting on a few knives to get here that I ordered before the printer gave out. And I assume this is your sticker printer there on the Edge. And yeah, that's the one I agreed with there, J1. That's true. Fred says Greg probably gets a special commission deal with Fenrir, and it's all about the money. And it does still have Greg's logo there on the on the back of the blade. And these are in when it actually has his name there. It has Fenrir there, and then Nitro V on that side. So that's probably true there, Fred. James says I never would have guessed it was a Fenrir, and I don't have a Fenrir here to show you, but apparently the handle shape, the scale shape is the same, even though most of the Fenrirs are a bolster type to them. So I don't know. Is it a little bigger than the original fit? I don't think so, Fred. I'm not sure, but I think it's the exact same. I think they just did a different blade shape. The total overall length, I don't know. I'll have to see if I can get I'll see if I can get a Fenrir from TC. Robin says, looks like a tough design or something. James says, oops. James Hoyt says, not a Fenrir blade in my mind. Oh, William says, I wasn't saying I don't like this knife, but when you said you wanted it, I thought I'd be nice to make an offer. No, this one, I wanted to get this one because I love the blade shape. I love the opening hole. I don't really care about the thumb studs, but they work pretty good. I can't complain there. But I thought they looked cool. Roger says, I'm pretty sure they're the same length. Oh, thanks, William. I appreciate you, man. James says, I have a couple of Fenrirs from Concept and Tenable. Apex Robin says, it looks great. It's just not a Fenrir. Odd choice to keep the name. I agree. I agree completely there, Robin. I don't understand that. But like Fred says, there you go. That's probably it. But now you've got me questioning that, Fred. I need to see if I can get a Fenrir. But I need to get TC's knives finished up and then trade with him again. James says, I agree with you. The Concept Fenrir had a very specific and recognizable blade shape. It wasn't my favorite because, well, one reason was the front flipper. When I tried to front flip it, it always seemed to hit me the wrong way. This isn't a great front flipper. It is doable. but it's not great. It is nothing like the front flipper on this. The front flipper on the Orca is as good, and that's all I'm saying. It's a little more, well, it may be a little muted. No, I can't say that's even muted on the DLC coded one. That one's just, acoustics are good. I think Fred would agree. Acoustics are good. The action is awesome. So, Gabe, yeah, I won this as a givey, and I'm not even sure how to. How and why, because it's like it's majorly flat and fairly sharp on that side. So, it's not that small either. So I'm not sure how that would go on a. I guess I'm not a lanyard person, so, and it glows good. In fact, I was going to pull this out and show you guys. So there it is. Is that the? Okay. All right. So there it is. It glows pretty good. This is my grandson's knife. There, it glows pretty good. These scales for the Fenrir are very reactive, and I don't think that's coming across on the camera so much there. These are very reactive as well. Not so much on the copper foil there, but Fred says, according to the website, all have the same dimensions. James says, I just got an Aurora Hive Mind. I do like it. Anyone else have an opinion? I liked it, James. I've actually, Fred sent his over, and I have done a disassembling cleaning video on it, as well as a review, and I liked it. I just haven't released them yet. And by the way, hey Gabe, thank you for being here, man. Fred says, I like the front flipper on the DreamTech to the right of the Fenrir. This one here, I did dog one. He forgot about it and hasn't taken it home, and that's okay with me. I'll keep it here, and hopefully it'll stay intact. So yeah, I like the front flipper on this one, works pretty well also. And I don't know if this is one that you sent me, Fred, a long time ago. I don't think it is. Clayton says, sorry, Tommy, had to make a quick video. Oh, you done missed it all, Clayton. Everything. You missed it all. So, we can't go back. We can't go back now. Let's see. Fred says, good night all, got to go to sleep. Have a good one, Fred. I appreciate it. There's Dog wants to have you given your grandson the, he actually helped me put it together. I let him take the pieces out of the frame, as it were, and he helped put it together, so that's very cool. Robin says, you missed an exclusive first peek at a Tommy Design knife, Clayton. You're just going to have to go back and watch it, Clayton. Dog wants his update and update. Good to see you, Gabe. Robin says, kidding. Yeah, nothing major that we've discussed here. All right, let's see. I think I have, do I have one? I have 2 more knives to pull out tonight. And you guys, if you think about it, want to, go over to the Discord and drop your carry. I'm trying to keep these things organized. But I will say this, DreamTech does have the number thing. But they do also put a picture of the knife on the box, so it keeps at least partially keeps you organized. Gabe says, rewind it back and watch it in double time. There you go. Okay, I actually won this knife. And I showed this one to my wife, and I'm like, I'm not sure what I think about this knife. And she said, well, it looks nice. Well, yeah, I guess it does look nice. It's like it's got some oil on it, too. But it's got one little part of it that I'm not a big fan of. It's a DreamTech. That's all I know. It's a DreamTech. TC blades. It has a glass breaker on the end that's not comfortable at all, in my opinion. But it does look cool. Has a nice fade anno on it. TC says, I have that blade in S35VN. This one is not S35VN. But it's a big knife too. It's a chunker. Mick says, I wanted that Ranger made knife they dropped today on DLT. There's the TC guy coming in. TC, I was just saying I needed to get a Fenrir from you to compare to the Blade City exclusive Fenrir. Uh-oh. Dog One says, looks like Thursday's winning out. Looks like an executive override's in the courts. Well, we have to do a poll tomorrow night as well to remove any bias. Yeah, I was fixing to say, TC, I think you might have a Fenrir that I could borrow, I think. I don't think I have one in there. I have in the past, but I don't think I have now. You like that, Dog One? I don't think... listen, I've questioned my wife about Friday because she's still awake. And 50-50. It's pretty close there. I've questioned my wife about the 6 to 8, and her main thing is that she doesn't have the ability when I'm on live to call to holler in here and say, hey, can you get me such and such? She has to go do it herself. So that's the only thing. She's not a huge fan of that. But we'll see. All right, I think I have one more knife. Let me put this. Let's just put everything back. Try to keep it separated out. Gabe says late nights with gadgets. I'm not sure on that one, Dog One. I mean, Gabe, I get tired of talking after a couple of hours. My wife would probably say that I never hush, because usually I'm the one that's talking when. And I'm not a great morning person, but she doesn't talk in the morning. She'd rather just sit there and chill out, and I'll be asking questions. William's sending me pictures. I'll have to look at that. Now, I thought I would like this knife, but and I don't know the number on it. It's something D3898, and it's not a bad looking knife. I like the blue. And it's a cool looking blade, but it's a liner lock. That's not a problem, but it doesn't reverse flick. It doesn't. I was thinking maybe it would reverse flick, and if it would reverse flick, I would probably say that's a pretty cool knife. But just being a flipper, I don't know. Don't know about that. Dog one says, Sarah, dog, puppy, sleep in the cat box again. Clayton says, what's up, TC Blades, dork? He's probably not listening, so he probably didn't hear that. Roger, I told her that she would need to keep her work clothes on when she came home, and that way at 6 o'clock she could come in here and be on the live with me. But she didn't seem to like that. She thought that was a great idea, Roger. I told her, it seemed to be popular with a lot of the other channels. Get your lady to come on there with you, and she just, I don't know that I'll be able to do that. I am too. I am too. Right. And I agree. TC says, I don't understand why they put such a good-looking fuller on a knife that can't be used. Yeah. Look at that fuller. Look it. But when you close it, there's really no way to do it. And I hate that. It's not a bad looking knife, but it's a budget knife. There's no filler tab there for the location. It's got a little bit of lock stick, but it may have some grease on it. Dog one says, ladies, perk up a channel. Apex says, that's the opposite me and my lady. She's always asking me questions right when I wake up, and I'm like, too much, too soon. William says, I sent you a picture on Instagram of my 8 Fenrir. Cool. Dog one says, Apex, LOL, got to set an alarm. You can't talk until after this time has passed. Dog one says, ladies, perk up a channel. TC says, what's up, King Dork? Clayton. He's probably not on here now. Apex Carry says, SPD does the most useless full. Yeah. You can do it in practice, but it isn't easy. I agree, Robin. Yeah. Blue said, tell her Twisted Sis gets on camera all the time. Dog one says, that fuller is hilarious. Honorable Uncle, I have this knife design. Bernie Stale said, yes, I am, Tommy. Calling you guys out, or trying to, and nope, I'm here. Just ain't saying much. That's fine. I do the same thing, especially usually after I say my hellos and all that good stuff. I tend not to say a terrible amount unless I get into a discussion with somebody, or if I'm giving somebody grief, like like Mopatty or TKE or even TC sometimes. Clayton says, did my members video giveaway vid now. Here. Roger says, Shelby is on with TC and she carries that channel. Oh, me. Just kidding, TC. That's awesome. Wonder if TC heard that. He might have gone away again. Anyhow, I'm just... Clayton says, Roger Baker, when TC Blades cuts himself, the way she ended it was a classic. Absolutely. She's like, I got this until Carrie stepped in and said, nope, live's over, bye. And I was like, oops, he done cut himself. And I'm sitting here texting them to see what's going on. Doggone, you missed that? It was TC's live Sunday before last. It was a classic. It was a classic for sure. But his family stepped in, ended the live gracefully, left us wondering what was going on exactly, and then he used that to later on too. Yeah, it's TC said she didn't say let me go check on my daddy. She popped in the chair and said it's my show now. Oh man, it was good. It was. Oh, he's okay now. He was good. He just had it was a little bit of excitement because he was had to go to a hospital that's having some significant issues with a cybersecurity incident right now, and so he ended up bouncing about 3 different places until he got somebody to help him out. But I think he got. I think he ended up okay. He got to who he needed to get to, I think. Historical. It was historical, all right. You guys, if you haven't checked it out, go back and watch the end of Sunday before last. It was a Shelby takeover. Clayton says, well, I caught myself on fire yesterday and it was hilarious. Kathy and I laughed today rewatching it. See, I turned on notifications for that live and didn't get notified. And it's like, man, did I NO that? Is that what you're asking? I absolutely did not. That's the way it came. TC says, I feel much better. Stitch just came out yesterday. It's not even time to do this. Yeah, he said, you also need to go back and watch Clayton's live. Okay, I got to go watch the live after this. That was fast, TC. Dog One says that Backwoods channel lady sliced her leg on a live. Ouch. Apex says Wolverine over here. What are you talking about, Robin? What are you talking about? William Hornbostel says, broke a record and cut myself with a TKL Nighthawk in less than 30 seconds. Flipped the ring around and got my thumb. Ooh. Crazy glue to the rescue. Ouch. J1 says, I wish you could catch your Wednesday lives, Clayton. Sometimes I can. It depends on what's going on. Work and all. Sometimes I can turn it on and at least have it on, even if I don't get to watch it. TC says, Clayton, do you know the timestamp of the moment? Oh boy. Mick says that happens to me all the time. Dog One says missed all the fires. It does look good. My wife even agreed. She's like, and you guys, my wife carries a knife daily. And I take knives in there to see if she likes any more, because the knife that she likes, and I've told you guys this before, is the Bag Knives knockoff that Harbor Freight did. That's the knife she likes, and I have not been able to find another knife that she likes. And I let her try all kinds of different knives. She likes it. It's got the exact detent that she wants, I suppose. So yeah. Clayton says, yeah, totes reminds me of a rocket pop. TC says, I can bead blast that rainbow for you. Oh, I don't care about that. I just don't. I'm not that big of a fan of the knife itself. It's got a horrendous glass breaker on the end, and for me, when I'm have it in hand, it's right there in the It's right there in the palm of the hand, and that's not the most. And I know I could do something to it, but I don't know. It might end up going bye one way or the other. We'll see. TC says, Melissa Backwoods constantly cutting herself. I have to check something right quick, guys. I see that there is lightning in the area, and that's not a bad thing in of itself, but I have something outside that I just realized I didn't bring back in, and if it's, I may have to run and get it from outside. I was playing with a mesh core device, and if you know what that is, you are a geek. Oh, there is an antenna connected to it, Dog One, but it's a mesh core device that I was playing with. I want to see which way. I'm not worrying about it. I just got to remember when I get off of here to go get it. Kelly says, whoops. All right. Clayton says, I'll find the timestamp. Roger said, I was going to be on Clayton's Live today and got tied up at work. Couldn't. Now I'm going to have to go watch. Burning Stables Forces easy, 30 minutes in. And Kelly says, Clayton had a live today. I think that was yesterday. Mick says her fiance Lou passed on. Sorry to hear about that, Mick. Condolences to the family. I know that y'all knew it was going to be soon, but it's never easy. Absolutely, Robin. It's that bodega knockoff, and she loves it. I was trying to get one to just because I wanted to try it out. And my boss lives about 90 miles away from where I live. We both work at the same town, but he lives down in Columbia, and he actually drove to wherever this Harbor Freight was and picked it up for me because I couldn't find it. But when she saw it, it was like I didn't have my knife anymore. TC says that's a great knife. It's a nice sized knife with an awesome blade shape. Wesley says, do you know of any OTF knives that have a full straight blade on one side and a full serration on the other? That's a good question. I'm not an OTF person, but one of these guys may know the answer to that question. TC said I ground mine off. Yeah, it's not a cool thing. And I was like, yeah, I know I can fix that. Robin said, well, it's called Burning Stables Forge. I guess it took it to heart. And yes, antenna. I do. Well, it's not ham. It's mesh, which is a lot of ham folks do the mesh stuff, but I was just playing with it because I've tried Mesh-tastic, and that didn't seem to work. That's a good idea, though. Robin says, "We'll remind you," but I have a rubber band right here. I'll put it on my wrist, and hopefully that'll help me remind it that I got to do that. If I leave it out tonight, it'll probably get rained on and ruined, but so I don't need that to happen. And thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Dog wants is your cold fellow. I don't know about that. Mick says, put a check mark on your hand. Well, thank you. I'm a nerd. You guys calling each other nerds, and I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, I'm a nerd too. And my wife would agree, so that's not a bad thing. Hello again there, Kelly. Yeah, Mick. Again, condolences to your family. That's a tough situation. And I think that autocorrect got dog one there. That's very cool, Mick. Very cool. Apex says, Wesley Verity, what you mean by a straight edge? Like a barber straight edge or just a double edge? Not or probably plain edge and a serrated edge is what I would guess there, Robin. But yeah, clarification for sure. I'm gonna leave that. No, I'm not gonna leave that up because I didn't. Whoops. Alright, I'm going to leave that up as well, so when I close OBS, that'll be there. Alright. Dog One says, how old is she? It's a tough one, absolutely. Robin says, Microtech makes a bunch of plain serrated edge versions, UTX, etc. Mick says she is 61. Yep. That is rough. Especially when I'm not that far off. I can only imagine and don't want to. Alright, you guys. I hear the thunder off in the distance, but it's up above. It's up above. It's probably 30 or 40 miles away. It's amazing how tough some people can be there. Dog One. Especially, he suffered pretty bad, yeah. And that just gets me, Roger. I know of somebody, and I tell you what, it really changes how you think about a person because I know this person and known them for a while, and when their wife got sick, their thought was, I'm bye, and it doesn't make sense to me. Because, in my opinion, that's not how it's supposed to be. So, absolutely, sticking with somebody that's I mean, it's the right thing to do. Yeah. Well, yeah. It does get a whole lot of us, but I mean, we can't live in fear of it, but absolutely it does get a lot of people. Makes you proud to be her brother, huh, Mick? let's see here. I'm going to go over here. Alright, let's disable that. I'm going to make that larger. Alright, we got a few things to look at. Yeah. Very cool there, Mick. Roger says, I lost my first wife to leukemia. I was holding her in my arms when she passed. Toughest thing ever in my life. Man. Yeah, Roger, that's tough, man. And good on you to be there at the end too. It makes me sad that COVID took a lot of that from us, as far as being able to see and be with loved ones when they were very sick and are passing away. And the rules at the time didn't allow you to I mean, that boggles my mind. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's see here. Let me go over here. And I'm not gonna talk about it, because then I'll get. Let's see, okay, right here. All right. Window capture. Let's go over here and grab that. There we go. And transition over there. And let me click and get that off, because you guys reminded me to not have that up when we're looking at pictures. There's Mind of Milton right there, and he's got a Kaiser Cyberblade, and I happen to have the titanium version of that particular knife. It's crazy. It is an interesting knife, and I got my finger caught several times in that opening hole before I figured out how to do it. And I wish this the thumb stud were at least on the other side. It's not, and it's not reversible. So, but it's actually a cool little fifth blade. Rob said, "Mom with the Cybertruck, LOL." Gabe says, "I lost my father to stage 4 cancer that was only diagnosed." Ugh, that's horrible, Gabe. Robin says, "That's why I got rid of mine. I kept getting my thumb stuck." Yeah, I mean, there was a few times I about cut myself because I wanted to do it like I normally would open a knife, and with this one, you've got to flick that knife and get your finger out of the way. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a cool looking knife. And then what we got here, Mo Patty at 8 o'clock. She must have been headed to bed. That was today. She has the Koenig, and I'm not sure that model number. It's not one I'm familiar with. But it's still a very cool one. For some odd reason, it's got purple on it. Yeah, dog one, divide and conquer. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Burning Stables Forge has the Chris Reeves, and that looks like that is a KC Spiron Knives Fast Tempest knives, whichever one you want to talk about. He's got the Tempest knives going on there. Robin says Koenig Xenon. Very cool. And I know this one's special to him. He got that one as a birthday. And then Robin's got a plethora of knives here. The Something Obscene Company J Cape 3.5. And I'm about to take it back down. Vulcan Reaper. The Rich Made Small Ratchet. Wow. Homer Zoo T-Rex. And a CKF Diveless. Just 5 of my favorite knives. Okay, so there's the J Cape. And then there's the... What was it? Was it Ripper? Reaper. Vulcan Reaper. And then this thing. That's a wicked looking knife. But a very cool looking knife at the same time. I just glossed right over that Vulcan. See, that's why I thought it was a Mach 71. I'm like, that's not the colors I've seen. And to me, in my opinion, the Mach 71 is probably one of his best designs, in my opinion. I actually like that one. There's something I don't like. I don't like it when the tip of a knife is vertical of the midline, if that makes sense. A lot of times, like for example, this one's probably about even with midline, so that one's okay. But let's see, do I have a knife? I probably don't even. This tip is north of vertical, but it's the blade shape makes it okay. When it's and I'm not even making any sense. Never mind. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's just me. It's just me. But those are cool. Very cool. All right. TC has a Fenrir and that crazy locking system knife that I haven't tried out yet, but looks like it could be a fun fidget thing and probably one that TC will cut himself with. Is that right? That does look like that would be a fun fidget knife. And I just noted that's a different clip. That looks interesting. And not in a bad way. Let's see. Clayton's going to be an Anno Pro in no time. Mick says I would love to get a Something Obscene Company. Dog One says there was a time when the entire nation stood in line at elementary school for a tiny red sugar cube. Polio vaccine without word one. Yeah. William Moore Boston, you watched it all the way through. I got to go watch this after that. All right, then Bluminati. Let me get rid of this. He's left us 2 links here. Oops. Let's see if it brings it back up or if, okay. It's not going to let me do this, I don't think. Let's see. Copy link. Is it going to let me do this? All right, this is the one. This is needing funds for Zena's vet visit. So that one is up for sale. It's a One Moon seedling. So check out that one. And then let me see if I can get to this other one. I can copy that link. I should be able to go back. No, it's not going to let me without logging in, and I've got... Will it not let me copy that? No, I done messed up now. Oh, okay, I think I got to it that way. There's the Aries EDC custom thistle. And I saw this, and sorry to hear about that, Blue. That's never an easy thing either. Alright, let me see here. I'm not sure what I'm showing. You guys couldn't see that anyways. Y'all were supposed to be screaming at me. Let's see if I can make it show. Okay, it might. Okay, you guys can see that now. That's the Aries EDC custom thistle that Blue has, and then there's the One Moon seedling. So y'all check those out and hit Blue up if you have an opportunity. All right, let's see. And I think that was the last thing that we were looking at. Nope. Let me switch back. I got to go back to there. Okay. And then somebody has the reverse Kunwu Tux. Or reverse Tux compadre. There we go. Nice looking knife. And I'm not sure who Ariston is. Oh, there we go. James Hoyt. That's James. Okay. With that nice Damascus collar. And again, one of my favorite blade shapes. And those just have awesome action. I almost bought one of these. I had a Padre, and I almost bought a Compadre, but I didn't end up keeping it. Still very cool. Very cool. All right. I think that got everybody. Let's switch back to there. And I'll keep that up over there. If I see something come in or somebody come in, then I will... what in the world's going on with my tablet? All right. Dog One says, Blue, you have a mighty fine collection. And hopefully I haven't missed anything. I know I've missed stuff. But anyhow, y'all, I've got to remember several things. I have to remember to go out and get the mesh core off of the deck. And then I also have to remember to come back in and watch Clayton set himself on fire. Because apparently, Kathy, did you come in? Are you on Clayton's channel? Yes, sir. I'm planning on being on at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow there, Dog One. James White says, yeah, my dad lived a year after his diagnosis, went through the chemo to get a year, otherwise would have been gone in a couple months. We felt lucky to get a year otherwise, and a lot of times that's all it is just buying a little more time. The chemo doesn't necessarily work other than helping out for a little while. Burning Stables 4 says, yes, it's funny. James, I think you may be behind in the chat because I think, I'm not sure. Burning Stables 4 says, no, I gave her a compliment. It is a mighty fine looking sheath, isn't it? I'll talk to you. I think I want to get a Kydex, but I want to pay for it because you've been way. Whoa! What's... So, my grandson. My grandson gave me something to put on my Crocs. So I've had this on my Croc since he gave it to me to put on my Croc, and it just came apart, and this part here goes through one of the little holes in the Croc, and it fell down in my Croc, and it startled me a little bit because there wasn't supposed to be anything in my shoe. So that's why I jumped a little bit just then. All right, so yes on that dog one. I plan on being from 6 to 8. William said he pulled a Richard Pryor. I was wondering if somehow Kathy had logged on and was throwing out compliments to herself, but yeah, it is a nice looking sheet. Yeah, dog one, thank you for being here. James has been carrying something, and I'm the compadre, yeah. Have a good one, dog one. I appreciate you, man. Blue says all time is borrowed, unfortunately. Absolutely. And it's we have to live our lives in such a way that we're making the most out of it. And those who believe that there is a time afterwards here want to make sure we live ours in the best possible way. James says, you're right, brother. None of us gets out of this alive. Just got to live each day being thankful for it. And absolutely, being thankful for what you have and loving the people that's around you. On the Edge says, I was trying to find TKE, the Night's Edge on Discord, but no joy. On the Edge, if you're getting to my chat, to the Discord channel where you drop, then that's the same one. If you're not, then we'll see if we can't help you out there. Blue says, yes, sir, James. Dog one says, burning, make a short of the fire. Update. Ugh. Gabe says, my father had an aneurysm on his brainstem when they diagnosed him. So when I went to see him in that week, he had no idea who I was or that I ever existed. That's hard. Absolutely. And that's the tough thing, is seeing someone that you are used to seeing healthy, and when they're not healthy, and not only that, they're not even able to they're not even the person that you're normally used to seeing. It's not the same person. And it's in some cases, they're already gone. Like my great aunt was 100 years old, and I happened to be at that hospital. I work at one hospital, but I was at a different hospital an hour away, and for a class, and got a call from her daughter-in-law. No. Got a call from her son-in-law's sister that lived with them and helped take care of her, that they were there. And I said, well, I just happened to be here. And so went and saw her, and she was okay. Well, she wasn't okay. She was having trouble. she had apparently swallowed something, and they didn't figure out that it was not where they didn't figure out it until too late that it was something that was keeping her. Anyway, so, but when we went back, when we found out that it was not good, she was there. Her body was there, but I think she was already gone. I don't think. I mean it. Yeah. Yeah. Dog wants to James. That's hard. Love is all you can do. Very tough. Dog wants says I talked to my Alzheimer's grandma into lucidity many times. Knew her, so I could feed her. Yeah, you could tell her things that would get her to a point where she would realize something. And it's hard. I've worked in healthcare for a long time, and one of the things I hated to do was go into nursing homes, because especially the ones that that have a lot of folks that have Alzheimer's or whatever, and or dementia, and it's rough. It is absolutely rough. All right, let's see here. All right, you guys. I think that's it. I'm going to go get that stuff off the deck that I need to get. Something's flying into my hair. And I want to watch this. I want to watch Clayton and see what happened there. See the excitement. But I really appreciate y'all being here. If you have an opportunity and want to, I do plan on being on tomorrow evening as well, from 6 to 8 Eastern. Mick, I think if you just go up and tell them that you would like to spend time with someone that maybe would enjoy talking to somebody, I bet you they'd get you in there. I would venture to say, I'm not positive about that, but I would venture to say that that's a good possibility. But yeah, you can try, because I've got a bug on me. That's a lot of people. They would love. Oh, they denied you, man. This is recent, post COVID? Yeah, reading. Go in and offer to read to them or something like that. That's, yeah. But the things that, I mean, none of that HIPAA would make a whole lot of difference to them. They just didn't want somebody in there. Probably didn't want somebody in there seeing what was going on. I would try different places, Mick. If they were talking about HIPAA, you're not. They're not discussing. They're not discussing their medical history with you, or looking at their charts or anything. If that person wants to tell you something about their situation, that doesn't violate HIPAA. Mick says, I tried right before COVID hit. I would try back again at a different place. There's probably some places that have a policy about it, but other places would love to have you come in and visit, because a lot of people, they just want somebody to listen to them. Or do they want to listen to somebody? So, yeah. Well, if in this day and age, if the charts are hanging on the doors, it's a very old place that's not gone electronic with their EMRs. And I can see that, but again, they shouldn't be out and open for anybody to look at anyways. I mean, if somebody's going in to visit their family, then that would be the same thing, in my opinion. But yes, I would go back and try again. Gabe says train some emotional support dogs. Absolutely. People love to see dogs come in. And they just love it. We've actually got a volunteer that has a dog at our hospital that goes in and visits. He's got his own badge. It's very cool. I got to meet him one time, and he actually laid down on my foot. So I was actually sitting there talking, and they came up, and I petted him, and when I finished petting him, he laid down on my foot, which is pretty cool. I think he liked me. Gabe says most of the time I've done anything for a nursing home. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they'll do that. And absolutely, Dog One's correct. There's a lot of destitute elderly receive very little in the way of interaction. Unfortunately, a lot of times their families don't even go in and visit them, which is absolutely horrible. And I'm sad to say, but I've seen nursing homes where the residents were not treated well at all. And they were not happy to be there because of the way they were being treated. And it's a horrible situation. I've told my wife, I said, don't ever let me go to a place like that unless it's something that that's all that you can do, because sometimes that's all that can. It gets to be a point where you can't take care of somebody, but at that point I probably wouldn't even be aware of it anyways. But yeah. And you can learn. Yeah, you're right, Mick. You can learn so much stuff from people, and especially if they can remember history and stuff. Oh, I love that. Talking about how things used to be. Very cool. Very cool. Mick says I'm going to look into it next week. Roger says most hospitals gotten rid of the charts on the door because of HIPAA laws. Most places you don't have paper anything. Yeah, man, just any time. Gabe says, Mick, your local VA has a lot of elderly that would love to have someone to talk to. You're right, Roger. That's the thing. It's crazy. And yeah, I used to talk to my great uncle all the time, and he would tell you the same stories over and over and over, but it was still fun talking to him. And because he would remember stuff. He wouldn't remember that he had told you this story before, but he would remember stuff. So, and there's an older gentleman in my community that's like the local historian, and I keep saying I need to go talk to him. And this is I wanted to do that from back in the COVID time, and I just need to make time to go over there and talk to the guy because I like history. And apparently the road that I live on was the line for Cherokee territory. So, and the road that I live on also has the name Mill in it, and I'm assuming there was some kind of grist mill or something like that that's close to my house. And I've tried to find out, but there's only certain stuff you can find out. It's the people that remember what they may have heard from their older people when they were younger that's really cool. So yeah, that's a good point, Mick. And that's what we need to do. We need to try to inspire one another. But yeah, I would go back because I don't think that most places are not going to have the charts up anymore. Yeah. And that's how a lot of knowledge gets passed on to people. And that's those that are older have been through a whole lot more that, let's see how to put this, that may have been forgotten by the history books that we read. They may have a different perspective than what we may have heard before. And you may be able to learn something is all I'm saying. But absolutely. All right. I have been talking and yapping, and now I need to get some water and go get that stuff before it starts raining. So I'm going to go ahead and end it, you guys. But try if you can to come back tomorrow. I understand if you can't, and that's perfectly fine. That's right, dog one. A lot of older folks have a decency about them. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a different time, and people carried themselves differently, and there was differences that yeah. Mannered. That's right. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Hope you have a good evening, rest of the and a good day tomorrow. And if I don't get to see you tomorrow evening, I hope you have a great weekend. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Where's the library? That's right, Bob Tism. All right, y'all have a good one, and hope to see you again tomorrow. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Not all. Gabe. They lived when common sense was common. That's a yeah, absolutely, Gabe. Critical thinking skills were important too. All right, you guys could keep me going probably all night chatting, but we'll go ahead and call it. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all so much for being here.